Time back again with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. Now, this book is an interesting one, the way I came across it. So basically I was working at a bank at the time. I used to work for RBS. And at the time, some colleagues and I went for work drinks and they were talking about this book. But you know, I preface this to say that I've been seeing people read the books on the train and stuff like that, but I never ever investigated as to what the book was about or anything like that. So when my colleagues started discussing it, was the first time I was really hearing what the book was about. But they didn't go into much detail because as soon as they started the conversation, I was like, oh, wow, I've seen that around. What is that? And then they were like, oh, do you not know about it? Because I had discovered 50 Shades of Grey, all 3 books in the trilogy had come out by then. So I was about a year late to the party. So I think the 3rd one had just been released. So people was, you know, the buzz was kind of high and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, do you know what, not know what's buzz? I was like, no, I don't. Like, you know, can you tell me? And then they refused to say anything more. And insisted that I ordered the books off Amazon right then and there, and then we would discuss it after I'd read it. So I went into reading these books blind, not really knowing what it was about. So anyway, that's how I discovered the books. I'll read you a bit about the plot, and then I'll delve in and let you know what I thought of the book, if there was anything I didn't like about it, and give you my rating of the book. So here we go. When literature student Anastasia Steele goes to interview young entrepreneur Christian Grey, she encounters a man who is beautiful, brilliant, and intimidating. The unworldly innocent Anna is startled to realize she wants this man, and despite his enigmatic reserve, finds she is desperate to get close to him. Unable to resist Anna's quiet beauty, wit, and independent spirit, Grey admits he wants her too, but on his own terms. Shocked yet thrilled by Grey's singular erotic tastes, Anna hesitates. For all the trappings of success, his multinational businesses, his vast wealth, his loving family, Grey is a man tormented by demons and consumed by the need to control. When the couple embarks on a daring, passionately physical affair, Anna discovers Christian Grey's secrets and explores her own dark desires. Now, that is a very, very good synopsis of the book, as taken from E.L. James's website. But when I started reading the book, as I said, I knew absolutely nothing about it. And in all honesty, I went in blind, and I thought, because as I was reading along it, you know, at first I just had no idea. And then I got to one bit in the book where Christian had tracked Anna down to the, like, you know, hardware store where she works, and was asking her for all kinds of peculiar things that he was buying. And I'm thinking, why is this billionaire buying these rudimentary things in the hardware store? And then he was buying things like plastic ties and rope and stuff like that. And I thought, this man is a serial killer. This man is plotting to kill this girl. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, in all honesty, I thought it was a crime thriller. And I wanted to put it down at that point. And I remember actually going to my work colleague and saying, I'm not a crime thriller kind of person. I'm not really into those kind of books. And she was like, what do you mean a crime thriller? And I'm like, well, you know, he's asking for ties and ropes and all this kind of thing. The man's going to kill this girl, because why is this billionaire in this small town buying ties? And obviously he's tracked her down because he wants to murder this girl. And she was like, no, just stick with it, and so on and so forth. Lo and behold, to me, I didn't realize that it was, not only is it a romance novel, it's not, I won't even say it's romance, it's erotica, pure erotica, with a good storyline, but it's erotica. So I'm reading this book thinking this man's gonna kill this girl, and then she is liking him, and I'm thinking, what is this? Is this Stockholm syndrome? What's going on here? Is it that he's gonna like lock her in a basement and then she's gonna fall in love with him, and then it's gonna be like one of those like weird serial rapists that keeps people in basements for like absolute eons? And do you know, I had no idea where it was going. And then as I was reading along, I was quite disturbed by the fact that this young lady, Anastasia Steele, who was a virgin when she met Christian Grey, was entertaining very strange sexual productivities, however you say the word, I can't remember. And I just thought that was really odd. And that is not realistic. Nobody in the, well, I don't know, maybe it is realistic, I don't know, because I just found that very, very strange, and I didn't understand why this girl would put herself in harm's way like this, because the man was like some type of sexual deviant. And yes, I don't want to hear things like, oh, you know, people have different sexual desires and things that turn them on and stuff like that. But this man was weird. I mean, in all honesty, let's be real about it. This guy and the stuff that he liked to do was weird. And I'm not wrong, because, you know, up until yesterday, the UK law agreed with me on this point. And I do find that this book has kind of normalized BDSM and things like that, to the extent that yesterday, or no, I read today actually, that the law has been revised in the UK regarding pornography. So basically, before, things like sadomasochism, BDSM, and a lot of the things that were in this book that Christian Grey liked, if you couldn't film that for porn. I mean, you would be prosecuted if you were kind of passing that kind of content around. And I'll read you the law just so that we kind of be both on the same page with regards to this. The Crown Prosecution Service had previously listed torture and bondage among other acts as obscene. Distributing that type of pornography either on or offline could therefore have led to prosecution, but the CPS has now removed the list and replaced it with a series of tests that determine whether an image or video is classed as obscene. So what's changed? Owning or distributing an obscene video is an offense under the Obscene Publications Act. Some of the acts previously listed by the CPS were legal to perform with consenting adults, but were illegal to depict in photo or videos. Distributing obscene material can simply mean sending a video via private message, and it can be punished with time in prison. So basically, the lists that were of things that were classified as obscene included sadomasochism, torture with instruments, bondage, activities involving perversion such as urinating or defecating on a body. Why would really? So now the CPS has removed all the specific examples from its guidance. It's not for the CPS to decide what is considered good taste or objectionable. It said in a statement. So I feel like this book, to some degree, kind of normalized, well, not the defecating or urinating part, because really, I mean, that's just disgusting. But like the BDSM and the bondage and, you know, that kind of stuff. It's kind of normalized it. Maybe it was normal before, but I have to be honest. I don't think I'm a jaded person. I don't think I'm a sheltered person, and I read a lot and I come across a lot of different kinds of things, but I don't think I've ever come across that really until I read 50 Shades of Grey. Now you may say that I'm kind of, you know, pretending or what have you, but I just never really come across it until 50 Shades of Grey. So maybe that's why, to me, when I was reading the book, I thought he was like a serial killer until I realized that actually he was just, that was just his kinky stuff that he liked. So yeah, so I think, I don't know how I feel about that, the normalization of that kind of stuff. But I did enjoy the book. I enjoyed the story, the romance, and I enjoyed the fact that it made me think about, you know, I don't know. I just kind of feel like there's a fine line between abuse and you know, consenting to sexual acts and stuff like that, and that kind of really opened my eyes in that way, because I I'm stammering. I'm at a loss of my words, because I feel like it really opened my eyes as to, you know, that there are people that that's what they like. And, you know, I also really enjoyed the fact that E.L. James kind of dealt with themes of child neglect and stuff like that, as to why Christian was the way he was, and hebephilia, because he was sexually abused as a teenager. So I think that's called hebephilia. So that opened my eyes to that kind of world, of that kind of happening as well. I didn't really think that the relationship between Christian and Anastasia was believable, because I just don't think that, or maybe it was believable because of that. Anyway, I just don't think that somebody who has no sexual experience will be thrown in at the deep end like that and be able to survive the experience. But maybe it was believable because she was a virgin. Maybe if she had some kind of sexual experience before, alarm clocks, bells would have been going off, and she wouldn't have entered into that relationship with Christian. So I thought that dynamic was very, very strange and very disturbing. I don't think I was ever comfortable with that aspect of it, because I just don't understand why a woman who has no experience with men, with relationships of a romantic nature, and this is her first sexual experience, why she would find that acceptable. But I guess, you know, we're all products of what we are taught to some extent. So yeah, so in terms of what I liked about the book, I thought it was a really good story. I thought the broader story outside of the romantic relationship between Anna and Christian, I thought that story in this particular book was very well told. I thought the character development was wonderfully done. But the only thing I didn't like was that kind of twisted relationship between Anna and Christian. I just don't get that. I don't believe that. But notwithstanding, this particular book was very, very much worth reading. I didn't enjoy the second book in the series as much, but I thought the third book in the series kind of brought things back and tied everything together. But this book, 50 Shades of Grey, the first book in the series, was actually a very good, interesting book, and I did enjoy it. Yeah, and I also really, you know, I enjoyed reading erotica for the first time. Now, it's not a genre that I would generally gravitate towards. And I think that the reason this book was so successful was that it was erotica, but woven into a broader story. If drama was a genre for books, I would say that this book was more drama than anything else. I would give this book a 3.8 out of 5, and I would recommend it, actually. So, and I thought that perhaps something in 50 Shades kind of highlighted the fact that maybe our views of sex and sexual relationship and what's normal in sex is maybe archaic and needs to be broadened. And to the extent that the CPS has had to catch up and amend the law. So please let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Did you enjoy it? Did you find the relationship between Anna and Christian disturbing the way I did? Leave your comments down below. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until next time, bye.